What's really good? It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back with the Boxing Clinic. Told you I had a few videos lined up, for the boxing game, the Boxing Clinic. You dig? Julio César Chávez Sr. says you would have knocked out Floyd Mayweather, and a lot of people probably would believe that, and a lot of people wouldn't. Here's my take on it. Chávez Jr. Chávez Sr. was a amazing fighter. Tenacious body puncher. Very offensive. But a lot of his career, he fought a lot of cab drivers and bums. I'm sorry. A lot of guys that was below, the real bottom feeder of the levels. And, he came up on the scene, knocked out Floyd Mayweather's uncle, Roger Mayweather. And he made a lot of different title defenses. Won a title, beat Mildred Taylor at the last minute in one of the most spectacular endings I've seen in boxing. Rob Pernell Whitaker, we can't forget that. And he had a lot of great triumphs in his career. And he was an amazing fighter, and I wouldn't put anything past him. But, I don't know. Mayweather would be tough. Tough for anybody, to be honest. Depending on which weight you're talking about. What you want, 35, 40, or 47? In my mind, no doubt, 47 and 35, Floyd, waxed him. It's just, that's just my opinion. I could be, it's mythical, so it's all opinionated, and I know a lot of people probably not going to agree with me. Just Floyd was just too, especially at 35, he was just another animal. And people say, well, the Castillo, people got to remember, he had one shoulder fighting Castillo. He had a torn labrum, and it was his fault that he chose to fight. He didn't want to miss out no money. I think James Prince was his manager at the time. He didn't pay James Prince. We all heard the stories how James Prince used to beat up his team and make him cry and tie him up to the chair and watch him beat his team up unless he got his money. And used to beg Bob Arum, listen to the story Bob Arum told him, to wire Jay Prince's money because Jay Prince wasn't playing. He wanted his money if he fought or not. And so maybe that was a reason, if he was with Jay Prince, why he took that fight, had to make that money. But everybody entitled to an off night. I heard Floyd talk about when, his father went to jail and he dropped out of school. I think he moved to Vegas with Frankie Randall. I think his name, that's the guy that beat Chavez Jr., really beat him like 2 times. But they robbed him one of the times. He really beat Chavez Jr. 2 times, I think. I know twice he beat him. I think his name Frankie Randall, yeah. He was talking about the time how he was outboxing Frankie Randall as a teen, 16, 17 years old. But when they was, sparring at the house, he was outboxing him easy, but he would have to hold back because he needed a place to stay. And he was talking about, Frankie Randall going through, I think, alcoholism, and his wife was crying, begging him to come home, and they couldn't find him sometimes. And, he wasn't living a clean fighter's lifestyle. And he still beat Chavez Jr. And this is a guy that Floyd Mayweather was outboxing, according to him, at 16, 17, 18 years old. So, you look at that and you just say, man, Floyd's boxing ability. You want to talk a strategy. Chavez Jr. going to try to come forward. If you're talking Floyd at 35, he was offensive, didn't have too many hand injuries, good foot movement and leg movement. And one thing people don't pay attention is Floyd holds his ground enough to get your respect, not to move around and burn a lot of energy. And it would have been a battle, but he wouldn't have made the mistakes that Mildred Taylor made, not even at 135 pounds. He wouldn't have traded with this guy. He would have countered him, and Chavez Jr. was very offensive. He would have been a counter's dream. It would have had to be Chavez Jr. attacking and killing the body to beat Floyd. Could he did it? Absolutely. He was a special type of fighter. But, his style just played into Floyd Mayweather's hands. And his IQ was too high. He was too much of an accurate puncher, too much of a good counter puncher. You talking about 35, he would have put it on Chavez Jr. At 147, too smart, too strong, same thing. He was more calculated. His punch output dropped, but he would have been more accurate. He would have boxed him to a 12-round decision. It would have been tough, but I'm not saying it would have been a cakewalk. 140, that was, I think, Chavez Sr. best weight. So I used to saying his son. It probably would have been a tough fight because we got a taste of Floyd at 140 pounds. We didn't get a whole, meal, a whole entree, dessert, appetizer, the whole 9. But that's the best chance that he would have had to beat Floyd at 140, in my opinion. That's when Floyd started to become more judicious with his punches. Had a wider base and was just trying to land and be accurate. And it's the way he beat Arturo Gatti at. But that would have been the most debatable weight class that they would have fought at. It would be 140. That would have been Chavez Sr.'s best opportunity to torch Floyd Mayweather at that weight. But it would have been a spectacular fight. And if you argue and say, oh, no way Chavez Sr. would have lost, I'm not going to argue with you because guess what? This is mythical. It's fantasy. It's all talk. You know, of course, what you think Chavez Sr. gonna say? Oh, I couldn't beat Floyd Mayweather. Absolutely not. You know, he got pride too. He's a great fighter. Probably the greatest Mexican fighter of all time, which all Mexicans look up to and try to set. He sets the platinum standard for a Mexican fighter. And he's a great legend. And you know, it would have been a great fight, but that's just my opinion on it. And let me know what y'all think about it. I'm pretty sure we got a lot of Chavez Sr. supporters out there. We gone.